Hello, everybody. My name is Dalnorris. And just to start things off, I've been trying to record this for days now, but it has been completely ridiculous with the recording studio I'm using. So the recording application I'm using, it's been a whole mess. I haven't really been able to get it done. This is like my sixth attempt at this. But if you guys want me to do an actual introduction video, because this is going to be my introduction video, even though this is purely for Pokemon, let me know in the comments, or just if you follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dalnorris, it'll be in the description below. Just let me know if you guys want an actual introduction video. Rather than that, I'm going to start trying to do YouTube. I'm going to start with Pokemon content, but I'm still going to stream things like League of Legends, sometimes Pokemon, other things. So stopping by if you are interested. But getting to this video, let me just explain to you kind of what's going on. So I am taking part in a Pokemon Wi-Fi Battle Draft League called the Ace Trainer Battle Association. It's the ATBA. It's currently in its 11th season, or just started its 11th season. I used to be in it since like season 1 to like 5 or 6, I think. And then I took a break from Pokemon, and then I moved more towards VGC. So this is like my first time really back into like singles, and I haven't really played much of the DLC, so I'm like, alright, this is a good opportunity to me. Also, just if anyone has any recommendations regarding how I can make videos better, how I can improve quality of certain things, any recommendations at all, since I'm trying to get this the hang of YouTube at this point, I would appreciate any comments below to assist with that. Now, what I'm going to go over is my draft for the league. My 10-mon draft with, it was a point-based system, like 230 points for 10 Pokemon. There's a different ranking for each Pokemon, and they cost differently. So I'm the coach of the Pastoria Aquatails, and the first mon I picked up was Urshifu, Rapid Strike style. So I went into kind of just the draft, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know what mon is great, but I knew for a fact that this new Pokemon was really like physically strong, and he was a wall breaker. I didn't know why, but then I looked at his ability, and he was like, yeah, he hits to protect. I'm like, oh, that's a thing. So there's not much protect in singles compared to VGC, but it's still a really, really good ability. Choice Scarf, Choice Band, Expert Belt, Life Orb. I think it gets bulk up, so yeah, it gets bulk up, so I can even set up with them. Really good, even Assault Vest, I think. Really good, like, not utility, but versatility of, like, what item he could use for offensive wall breaker. He gets Aqua Jet, he gets, Brick Break, for screens, close combat, Drain Punch. A lot of nice. I like the Aqua Jet priority. I know the Dark type version of him gets Sucker Punch, but I like Aqua Jet more. It gets Sub. It gets U-Turn, which I thought was really, really cool. It also gets Taunt. It doesn't get Knockoff, but it's fine. I really like this. I'm excited to see how it can be used, because I've never used this mon before. I have never even seen this mon be used before. Its speed is nothing to laugh at. So it's pretty like higher than average tier speed, I think, throughout all the mons available. But yeah, that's Urshifu. And then after Urshifu, I was just like, okay, what's a mon that I'm relatively used to using? And that's Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat in particular than other Rotoms. That's not Heat. There we go. So Rotom Heat covers the grass weakness, covers the fairy weakness of Urshifu, covers the flying weakness. There's another I can't think of right now. And the electric weakness, if I didn't say grass already. And the Rotom Heat can be run bulky offensive, completely offensive, pure like utility. It gets screens, it gets defog even. It gets Will-O-Wisp, Hacks, I don't know what Poltergeist is. I think it's the new ghost move they added. They get Pain Split, T-Wave, Trick, Toxic. So it gets 3 statuses. It gets Hex, and it can just lefties, Life Orb, Scarf, Specs, you name it. Can do a lot of things. It's extremely versatile of a mon, even as nasty plot if I really wanted to. It's relatively bulky, average speed, so it's pretty solid. It does lose the rocks, but Urshifu does cover that. Urshifu also covers the water weakness and rock weakness that Rotom Heat has. So next in the draft, I was like, okay, this mon is. I was debating on going something like Tangrowth to finish off the Fire, Water, Grass core, but then I was like, you know what? My team doesn't like not benefit from Hail, and what I mean by that is like, okay, I like Urshifu's not gonna run Sash, and Rotom's not gonna run Sash, so having Hail isn't gonna ruin me, because like I could easily run like Lefties or some other form of recovery. So Ninetails, obviously, as everyone knows, Snow Warning, Aurora Veil. You run either like a Sash on this thing. You can run Heavy Duty Boots, I think. Life Orb. It really depends on the way this mob can be run, which can be multiple ways. Has Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam. It's not super offensive, but its speed is really nice as a base 109 speed, so it's pretty fast compared to a lot of mons. It gets Freeze Dry, which is really nice. It gets Ice Shard if I really wanted chip priority. It gets Stored Power, which I didn't really realize. It gets Toxic, it gets Weather Ball, it gets Pain Split, Nasty Plot, Moon Blast. So I like Ninetails. I used it a lot in VGC, and I hope I can use it the same amount as I've used it in VGC for singles. Kind of a new fresh start to a lot of things. So Ninetails also loses the steel, loses the rock, gets covered by Urshifu, and then just that steel gets covered by Rotom and Urshifu. So it's really nice synergy that I have going on to the first three picks. The next mon I have is Galerian Solbro. Now, I haven't played much of the DLC, but I know for a fact that I saw this mon, and I'm like, wait, I need to try this thing. It wasn't like I need to do it, it's like I can do it, so I'm going to do it. And two abilities I really like are Quick Draw and Regenerator, because Regenerator, I can make him a bulky physical or bulky special attacker, or bulky mixed attacker if I really wanted to. Quick Draw also just allows him to have as low speed as possible but still have a chance of priority, which is really cool. He can have almost anything, honestly, for items, since you can have Assault Vest, you can have Band, not Scarf, but Specs, Life Orb, Leftovers, you name it. It's also the only poison psychic type, which I'm like, oh, cool. He doesn't lose the psychic. What does he lose? It's Ground, Dark, Ghost. Ground, Dark, Ghost is like the first thing. I know there's like at least one or two other things that he loses to, but gets expanded. Like, the nice thing about this is 100 attack, 100 special attack, so it can be run either way. Gets Calm Mind if I want to do that. It gets Drain Punch, Earthquake, Expanding Force, Flamethrower, Foul Play, Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Liquidation, Nasty Plot, Poison Gem, Skull, Shadow Ball, Shell Sidearm, which is really, really cool because it's like a Psychic Psyshock but Poison type, and it's a special, so if I run special, it's really nice. Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Try Attack, Trick Room if I really wanted to, and Trick. Lots of attacks that can be utilized on this mon. Like, I think it's a pretty good mon. I'm excited to use it and see how well it does. I think it has a lot of potential. After Slowbro, I got Bronzong. Now it's another psychic type. So in singles, I see Bronzong used like 50% of the time, because I don't really pay attention to Bronzong users, but it can Leftovers. It could set up screens. It has Levitate, Heat Proof. I'm not going to use Heavy Metal at all. I'm probably not even going to use Heat Proof at all. But it gets things like Stealth Rocks, Light Screen, Reflect, Rock, Stealth. I said Stealth Rocks, Toxic, Trick Room. It's more of just like, I'm going to sit here and eat attacks while you do whatever you want. Did I say Steel type earlier? I meant Psychic type. There's another Psychic type. It gets body press too, so it's not super terrible. But, like, it's not an outstanding mon. It's pretty good. It's just gonna sit here and eat things when you throw them at me. It's pretty much Bronzong. Next, I grabbed Licky, and this mon I actually haven't tried out before, but I know I had two options for this pick. I could either have gone for Licky, which I did, or I can go Miltank. So I was like, okay, do I want a fast mon that has like heal bell and can heal itself, or do I want to go a slower mon, which is a little bit more bulky, but has more cleric options? It has wish, it has heal bell, I think it does. It gets, like, I could throw lefties on it. It gets on tempo and oblivious, which are two really solid abilities for it. Oblivious is really nice. Its move pool is also really interesting. It gets knockoff, it gets ice beam, ice punch, I can tell, power of punch. I don't think it gets baton pass. Yeah, it doesn't. It gets sword stance, it gets steel roller if I really wanted to, toxic wish, thunder punch. It gets rest and it gets protect. So lots of it even gets gyro ball, so that's not a terrible option. It also gets disable, which could also be pretty spicy in certain situations. But this mon I chose over Miltank. And the funny thing is, as soon as I picked Licky, Miltank was taking the pick after. So I think I could utilize Licky pretty nicely throughout the season. Its defenses are really nice. The thing about my team is, like, it has a certain amount of really slow mons, but, like, my bulky mons are really nice. So that's nothing to really sneeze at, if that's a saying you want to go with. And then after Licky, we have Alolan Sandslash. Now, Alolan Sandslash I thought was a really nice pair with Alolan Ninetails, because A, they came out of the same generation, obviously. It's another steel type and another ice type, but this mon is pretty thick for what it is. It's an ice steel type. Its defense is really good. Special defense isn't fantastic. Its speed's but Slush Rush makes this a really fast Pokemon. Its physical attack is also pretty solid. You can run this bulky attacker. You can run this, like, banded, assault vested. It doesn't lose to rocks. It doesn't lose to poison spikes. So heavy duty boots isn't super necessary. It does get a little cucked by sticky webs. That was like spider webs. So, like, that's not the right move. It gets rapid spin. It gets rocks. It gets EQ. Icicle Crash if I really wanted to knock off Leech Life. I didn't even realize I got Leech Life until recently. But something I looked at was those new moves they added, like Steel Roller and Triple Axle. Triple Axle's kind of nutty on this Pokemon because it also gets Throat Chop and Sword Stance, which is really cool. But Triple Axle is it's kind of a strong move that a lot of ice types really like, because if you're like, oh, Ice Punch 75 damage, it's okay. Triple Axle is power rises base 20. I saw some damage calcs with this. I'm like, oh, that does a lot of damage. Also because of Roarville, if I really wanted to do that, but it's not super necessary. It gets Curse, it gets Brick Break. Drill Run if I really wanted to. I would use it and try to crit. I don't know why I would do that, but with Sandslash, I really like Sandslash, so I'm excited to use him in singles. The next one is Dracolic. Now, Dracolic was another kind of two choices for me. I could have either gone, what was it? I could have either gone Dracolic, which I did, or I could have gone Druddigon. Druddigon was the more expensive option, and Dracolic was the least expensive option. So I was like, okay, do I want a Ghost type? Yes, I want a Ghost type. I also don't have a mon that could use Eviolite yet, so it was like, okay, it's not terrible. It gets 3 solid abilities. Like, these abilities, like, Clear Body is like but Curse Body is also like but Infiltrator is pretty good. It depends on the matchup, usually. It's Baton Pass. It's pretty fast for a second evolution Pokemon. Dragapult's one of the strongest mons, I think, in the game, and it was allowed this season. So I think it was like the first overall pick, a really strong mon. Base 102 speed is really nice. You throw on like Eviolite, it blocks Rapid Spin. It gets things like Curse. It gets Hex, Hydro Pump, Phantom Force, Psychic Fang, Scald, Shadow Ball, U-Turn, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave. It gets Rest if I really wanted to use Rest. Agility, so it's all gonna come down to, I guess, how much utility I want to have with this Dracolic, because I gave up bulk and like it was like bulk, statuses, and hazards for Dracolic, which was speed, baton pass, and statuses, which isn't terrible because speed is always nice, and I also have U-turn, which I don't think Jordagon gets. Also, sorry for any background noise that you're hearing. But I think Dracolic is a good addition, and he's my only ghost type, so I think I can utilize him pretty fairly. I'm not sure. I've used Dragapult, not Dracolic though. After Dracolic, we have Laurentis. Now this is my grass type to kind of finish off my Fire, Water, Grass core. And my friend Nater, as some people might know him as Griefer for you, he was hyping up this Mon so much that he's just like, dude, how much is Laurentis? Laurentis was like really low. He's like, just don't grab Tangrowth, grab Laurentis. So I was able to get certain Mons because I didn't go Tangrowth, and I got Laurentis, who is pretty, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible Mon. It's slow, like a lot of Mons I have are, but its physical attack isn't that like bad. Its defenses aren't too shabby. Like, it's contrary, and it gets superpower, which is a great combination. It gets knockoff, it gets defog, poison jab, psycho cut, X scissor. It gets toxic and synthesis. It gets sword stance. It gets sub. It gets rest. Does it get sleep talk? It does. So it also gets aromatherapy. So you could pretty much throw any item onto this Mon. Maybe lefties, life orb, a berry if you don't want to take too much damage. I think this Mon can be used pretty nicely. I guess it depends on which situation will Laurentis work best. I don't think Solar Blade will be used too much because it's just not a fantastic move compared to like something like Solar Beam, and I don't have Sun, I have Hail. And then moving on to the last Pokemon I picked up, which is Crocorock. Now, Crocorock was another Eviolite user I have. So I don't think I'll ever bring them both in the same game. But the thing with Crocorock is I bring Eviolite. I always will almost bring Intimidate. I don't think there's a point for me having Anger Point or Moxie. I switch. He's a ground dark type, so I have an electric immunity now. I have a psychic type immunity now with the dark type. And the only real thing I see him being used for is something like Taunt, Toxic, Rocks, Scorching Sands if I really wanted to, knock off. No, like, unlike Dracolic, he doesn't have U-turn. He doesn't really have statuses other than the Toxic. So it's, like, it's okay. It's not a great Mon. Its physical attack isn't terrible. It's 82 for a second evolution. It's like a little below average speed. Its defenses go up because of Eviolite. It's an okay Mon. It's not fantastic. Gets Brick Break, gets Crunch. I'm not going to expect too much from Crocorock, but in very specific scenarios, I'm going to be using him. But with that, that's pretty much going to be kind of a wrap for the kind of like the Meet the Team, as you saw in the first picture. We have our first match. If this video goes up during the week, the match should happen in the coming week or so, or no, in the next few days. And then the video for that should be up around, I think, next weekend. I think next weekend is when the video will be up for the battle. I'm gonna make sure I get that recorded, and it's gonna be a-okay. Gonna hope nothing technically goes wrong with it. So hopefully no stream errors, not stream errors, video errors. Because last time I tried doing this, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. Again, if you guys want to go to my Twitch, I'll have it in the description below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or any suggestions to help me out, make any of my videos better, regarding quality, or just like, oh yeah, you could do this to make it easier, I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.